Hi, this is Levi Costello here to do another video report on the weather app. So as you can see on the side of over here that we have decided, I have been able to go through the weather app tutorial and all of the videos and accomplish everything that is required. In this app, we basically were able to build an app that takes in the APIs of the weather in a zip code. In different destinations around the world based by zip code, taking in the the longitude and latitude, to pinpoint the different locations and display the lows, high humidity, as well as whether it is nighttime, daytime, cloudy, sunny, and then finally displaying the week schedule of what the temperature is going to be for the following week. With that, I will show you my code to show you how it is incorporated, and then finally show you my app itself. So with this, it is split into what I decided is 5 main things and 5 main programs that I'm using, and then the other ones are just shown on the side. So I downloaded the file. We have the assets which come with the different weather icons that are going to be used. We have components which are pre-made selections that I access. These files are basically design structures for how the app is going to be laid out, and I call them throughout my code to implement them into design the layout. The main ones that we have used are the recent search, weather API, details, and search. And then the index as usual, which is the main that is accessing all of these. To get through the index right off the bat, we have the classic different screens that we're displaying on the phone. These screens being details and search. The detail section this is what's going to be showing the information regarding the temperature, etc. Whereas the search is going to display the search information where you can pick which area you want to look at based on zip code. Besides the styling, we have information where the header title, which displays the destination the location that we are looking at, and the header right, which works on displaying an icon on the top right where you can click that to go to the search button. With this, when you click the search button, it swipes up rather than swiping to the right like we did in the quiz app. The search section is like the search navigation where you get to type in and you have a search bar and stuff. I found it interesting because we have our own status bar. Well, no, not status bar. That's in the thing I'm looking at is a different one. It's literally just an API section with already built-in section with React Native that we plug in from the library, and that is a search feature, which I appreciate because then you don't have to plug it in and do it yourself. It's great. Moving on, we going into the detail section. Now, the detail section is a lot of code since a lot of things are being done here and translated into the other stuff. As you can see, the search, recent search, and the weather API is very simple, whereas the details is where most of the code is being interacted with. As you can see in the beginning, we import different things: scroll view, safe area view, view and alert, as well as the connections to the different file directories, which include layouts as well as icons. The group forecast by day. This method is used to take in the arrays that are displayed in the forecast. When you look it up on the debugger, it'll display all of the information for the temperatures by the week in a series of arrays. And what this method does is it organizes it into more of a readable and organized layout, so that way we can access it. And this one also calls through a list, and the list section right here is organized itself. So we use this format as well as the format that we had presented in the video to organize and lay out the debugger. Personally, I was not able to use the debugger like the debugger as shown, but I was able to use, through the console log, I was able to display information through here. So it worked just the same way, and I was able to follow through equally through the tutorial video. Um, Going back to details, we get into the class where we do the dismount, did amount and did update. The updates basically will contain updating information regarding the previous latitude and longitude, the new latitude and longitude, and the zip code. As we go through the different searches, we update and store the information accordingly, so that way you can click back, and so you don't have to keep re-inputting the zip code, and you can just simply go back to what you previously selected, as well as store the information so that way it actually displays and updates when you when you look at the code. The errors will be handling it with the search button. The errors that we have is if you do not input a correct zip code, it'll say this is not a correct zip code and send you back to the search button. And then another error that we that is done is we check if it was try again, and then if it was error, it will send you back. And oh yeah, that was the only error that we majorly did. Yeah. The get current weather sets up the weather itself, which is the low, high, and humidity of the day, whereas the get forecast is focused more on the get forecast focus more on the weekly data. So we got the two sections, and I'll show you in the app where the top part is the weather, and then the bottom part is forecast. So it's organized that way, and able to see it. This is layout. One of the layout informations that I had to change was this section right here, because the way how it's organized, it was DDD, MMM, capital D, but since it doesn't support that anymore, I had to change it to EEEE, MMMM, and lowercase d in order to get the proper format, which displays the date, month, day, month, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday stuff. For each of the parts of the forecast. Going into the search bar basically focuses on searching information. So a lot of stuff done in the render will be taking in the information of the zip code, longitude, latitude, and comparing and contrasting both of them, so that way we can be able to get the value what we need in the details. The recent search focuses more on storing information, where which I'll show you. When you look up previous information, it'll store it on the below the search bar, and then when you type in the search, it'll add it to that selection, so you can go back and access it. The weather API is the simple API, the API key that I was able to acquire through the website, as well as the link that we access to get all the information that makes this app work. And all of this is online and stuff. So it's access the internet, and through this link right here, we access the API, the zip code, the longitude, the latitude, and all the coordinates that we necessarily need. With that, I believe that roughly explains how the app works right now, and I can show you how the app looks. So right here, we have the app itself. I'm trying to organize it in the camera. As you can see up here, we have the weather, all that the weather app was able to do. We right now it's displaying Azusa at the moment. You see it's nighttime, 74 degrees outside. Humidity is 29%. We got a low of 69, nice, and a high of 81. Down below you have the dates coming going into the following week, and then you got the low and the highs displayed on the side right there. Now, if you were to press the search button, it pops up the search queue. Let that load right there. And as you can see, we got the search button the search section right here, and then we have the other following areas. Now, I already pre-selected some areas so that way you guys can see what is going on. And when you hit Falls City, there we go. When you hit Falls City, it changes everything, and as you can see, the time changed, and we got a different cycle, we got a different date, a temperature, we got low and high, and then we also have different temperatures for the following week. And also, it stores the information right there, and and it also shows you the zip code that you can type in. And that's basically how the app works right now. Oh wait, error. let's say a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you, as you can see, type that, you hit the Get Weather button. It'll pop up an error saying no location data found. Come on. Can't really see that. Oh, there we go. No location data found. Please try again. And you press OK. The search bar screen pops up again. And that's basically how the app works. Thank you for your time.